Ladies and gentlemen, imagine for a moment that everything you've ever wanted in life is just one decision away. One choice, one moment of clarity where you decide to stop drifting and start directing your own life. Most people wait for circumstances to change, for someone to come and save them, or for luck to knock on their door. But the truth is, the power has always been in your hands. Right now, this moment is your turning point. Ladies and gentlemen, think about your life for a moment. Every major event, every turning point, every achievement or setback can be traced back to a single decision. Some of these decisions are obvious, like choosing a career, a partner, or where to live. Others are small, almost imperceptible, waking up early, picking up a book, sending that email, or saying yes to an opportunity that scares you. And yet, each one has the potential to redirect the course of your life in ways you cannot immediately see. The truth is that you are never as powerless as you feel. The moment you realize that your life is shaped not by chance, but by choice, you tap into a source of limitless potential. Most people go through life waiting for the right moment, or hoping someone else will guide them, save them, or give them permission to act. They wait for circumstances to align perfectly, for the stars to shine in their favor, for someone to hand them an opportunity. And while that waiting happens, life keeps moving, and time, your most valuable asset, is slipping away. But here's the reality. The power is already in your hands. You don't need anyone to grant you approval, you don't need luck, and you don't need a guarantee of success. You only need the courage to decide, to take one step, and to focus your energy on what matters most. Each decision carries a ripple effect, shaping your thoughts, your habits, and ultimately your destiny. It is not the dramatic, headline-grabbing choices alone that transform lives. It is the consistent, deliberate, and intentional decisions made day after day. Choosing to prioritize growth, to invest in yourself, to push past fear, to dedicate time to learning, or to step out of your comfort zone all compounds into momentum. This is why so many people feel stuck. They underestimate the power of a single, decisive choice. They wait for someone else to act, to show them the way, to make it safe to move forward. But life doesn't pause for hesitation. The opportunity is in your hands, and hesitation is the thief of progress. One decision to focus yourself, to align your energy with your purpose, is enough to set off a chain reaction that transforms your entire life trajectory. Imagine a simple choice, deciding to wake up an hour earlier each day. That decision may seem small, almost trivial, yet it creates space for growth, reflection, learning, and action that wouldn't have existed otherwise. Over weeks, months, and years, that one decision compounds into a life completely different from what would have happened if you had waited. Another example, choosing to let go of toxic relationships or negative habits. One decision to remove what is holding you back frees your energy and attention for what truly matters. One decision to say yes to a new opportunity, a new career path, or a new mindset can open doors that you didn't even know existed. And it all starts with acknowledging your agency, your power to decide. It's easy to blame circumstances, other people, or timing for where we are in life, but doing so is giving away the very power we possess. Real change is never about waiting for someone else. It's about recognizing that the first step, the first move, is entirely within your control. When you embrace the idea that you are always one decision away from transformation, you stop waiting and start acting. You stop hoping and start creating. You stop drifting and start steering your life with intention. Every choice you make, no matter how small, contributes to the momentum of your journey. And while it can be intimidating to take responsibility for your life, the liberation that comes from realizing your own power is unmatched. It is the recognition that the path forward does not depend on luck, external validation, or perfect conditions. It depends solely on your willingness to act, to decide, to focus, and to move toward the life you want. The power is in your hands, and all it takes is a single decision to change everything. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something most people don't realize. The world is full of distractions, yet success is given to those who can direct their energy with precision. Focus is not just a habit, it is power. It is the ability to concentrate your mind, your thoughts, and your actions on what truly matters while ignoring everything that pulls you off course. Every day, we are bombarded with notifications, messages, opinions, and endless noise that clamors for our attention. Social media, emails, conversations, advertisements, worries. They all compete for the most precious resource you have, your attention. And yet, the difference between someone who achieves greatness and someone who drifts through life is simple. One knows how to harness focus, the other lets it scatter. Focus is not about doing more. It is about doing the right things with intensity and purpose. It is not about being busy. It is about being effective. It is about choosing where to place your energy and refusing to let anything else dilute it. Imagine a laser beam. Alone, it can cut through metal with precision. But scatter that energy and it becomes heat, light, or wasted power. Your mind is like that laser. When you focus it on your goal, your dream, your purpose, you become unstoppable. The challenge, of course, is that our modern world is designed to steal focus. Every ping, every alert, every temptation is engineered to fragment our attention, making us reactive instead of proactive, making us consumers of distraction instead of creators of results. To reclaim your power, you must actively choose focus. You must decide what matters, what aligns with your vision, and what will move you closer to the life you want. And then you must protect that focus fiercely. Focus requires boundaries. It requires saying no to what is urgent but unimportant, to what is comfortable but not growth-oriented, and to what is tempting but not aligned with your long-term vision. Focus is selective. It is not about doing everything. It is about committing fully to the things that count. When you focus, time expands. Hours feel longer, productivity increases, and the work that once seemed impossible becomes manageable. You enter a state of flow, where challenges are met with clarity, distractions fade into the background, and your energy is concentrated on solutions rather than problems. Focus also trains your mind to resist the pull of fear, doubt, and indecision. When you lock onto your purpose, you see obstacles as temporary and setbacks become lessons rather than failures. Each small, consistent act of concentration compounds into momentum. Your decisions, your actions, and your habits gain clarity and speed because they are guided by intention rather than impulse. And here is the secret most people overlook. Focus is not something you are born with. It is a skill, a practice, a discipline that must be cultivated daily. It is strengthened by eliminating distractions, creating rituals, and aligning your environment with your goals. A focused mind is a powerful mind, capable of turning vision into reality, ideas into action, and dreams into achievements. The difference between an average life and an extraordinary life is simply this. One person allows their attention to wander, while the other harnesses it like a weapon, a tool, a force. Focus is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It is the invisible lever that amplifies your efforts and multiplies your results. And when you commit to focus, when you train your mind to concentrate relentlessly on what matters most, you realize that power was never outside you. It was always inside, waiting for your attention, waiting for your discipline, waiting for your decision to direct it toward what truly matters. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest obstacles between you and the life you want is not lack of talent, luck, or opportunity. It is distraction. Every day, our attention is pulled in 100 directions. Our phones buzz, social media demands our eyes, notifications flood in, worries whisper in our minds, and other people's expectations press upon us. It's as if the world has been designed to scatter our focus, to make us reactive rather than proactive, to keep us busy but not productive. Distractions are sneaky. They don't always appear as obvious interruptions. Sometimes they take the form of harmless habits, endless scrolling, unnecessary conversations, or even overthinking. Each time you allow your mind to wander toward these distractions, you are giving away your energy, your clarity, and your power. The truth is simple. You cannot move toward your dreams while allowing distractions to dictate your life. Eliminating distractions is not about isolating yourself from the world. It is about creating space for what truly matters. It is about identifying what adds value and cutting away what doesn't. It is about making deliberate choices about where you invest your time, energy, and attention. Every yes to a distraction is a no to your purpose. Every moment spent reacting to something unimportant is a moment stolen from your potential. The most successful people in the world do not have more hours than you do. They have learned the art of focus. They have trained themselves to recognize what is critical and to ruthlessly cut out what is trivial. When you eliminate distractions, something remarkable happens. Your mind becomes clear, your energy multiplies, and your decisions gain precision. You are no longer pulled by the noise of the world. You are guided by the compass of your purpose. The process starts with awareness. You must observe how you spend your time and notice where your attention drifts. Which apps, habits, conversations, or thoughts steal your energy? Once you see them, you can act. Set boundaries, create systems, and design your environment to protect your focus. This may mean turning off notifications, scheduling specific times for tasks, saying no to people or commitments that don't serve you, or decluttering both your physical and mental space. Every choice to eliminate what doesn't matter is a choice to honor what does. It is a commitment to your goals, your growth, and your future self. Distractions are powerful because they offer instant gratification while stealing long-term results. They are tempting because they feel productive or entertaining in the moment, but they slowly erode your momentum. To win in life, you must value the long term over the short term, clarity over chaos, and purpose over pleasure. When you eliminate distractions, you reclaim your time, your energy, and your focus. You are no longer a passenger in your life. You become the driver, steering with intention, power, and control. Your productivity soars, your creativity flourishes, and your ability to act decisively strengthens. And perhaps most importantly, your confidence grows because you are aligned with your purpose, living intentionally and refusing to let the noise of the world pull you away from what you were meant to create. Remember, distractions are always there, waiting to pull you off course, but your ability to eliminate them is a skill, a discipline, and a declaration that your life, your focus, and your energy belong to you. Every time you cut away the unnecessary, you make space for the extraordinary. Every time you say no to what doesn't serve you, you say yes to what will move you closer to your dreams. And in that deliberate clearing of distractions, you discover the freedom, clarity, and power to become the person you were always capable of being. Ladies and gentlemen, let me be clear about one thing. Talent, luck, and inspiration may get you started, but they will never take you all the way. What separates ordinary people from extraordinary ones is consistency. The willingness to show up day after day, to take deliberate action toward your goals, even when you don't feel like it, even when results are invisible, and even when the world seems indifferent. Consistency is the invisible engine that compounds small actions into life-changing results. It is the quiet force that turns intention into reality. Most people think that success comes from dramatic breakthroughs or a single moment of brilliance, but the truth is far simpler and far more powerful. Success is the sum of small, repeated actions performed faithfully over time. Every effort, no matter how minor it seems in the moment, is a seed planted for your future. Skipping a day, getting distracted, or waiting for motivation may feel harmless, but over time, inconsistency erodes momentum and delays growth. On the other hand, consistent action builds habits. Habits create momentum, and momentum produces results that feel unstoppable. Imagine a drop of water falling on a stone. At first, it seems insignificant, barely noticeable, and almost pointless. But over time, day after day, that drop creates a groove, a mark, a change. That is the power of consistency. Every time you commit to showing up, learning, practicing, or taking action toward your goal, you are carving your path in life, shaping your skills, and building your confidence. Consistency is not glamorous. It doesn't always feel exciting or rewarding immediately. It often requires discipline, patience, and a willingness to do the work without applause. But it is exactly that quiet, persistent effort that creates breakthroughs. The people who achieve lasting success are not the ones who do a lot once. They are the ones who do a little, consistently, over and over again, until the results multiply. This principle applies to every area of life: career, relationships, health, personal growth, or creativity. Learning a skill, building a business, cultivating meaningful relationships, improving your health, they all require daily attention. And every time you choose to act consistently, you reinforce the habit, strengthen your discipline, and move one step closer to your vision. Consistency also trains your mind. It builds resilience, patience, and faith in your ability to achieve long-term goals. When you see yourself showing up regularly, even when it's difficult, you begin to trust yourself, your decisions, and your process. You stop relying on fleeting motivation or external validation because you know that progress is not measured by a single day, a single win, or a single moment. It is measured by the rhythm of consistent action over time. And here is the beauty. Consistency compounds. Just as money grows through compound interest, effort grows through persistent focus. Each small action multiplies, interacts with other efforts, and accelerates results in ways that are often invisible until one day, suddenly, the results appear. The breakthrough you have been waiting for is not magic. It is the natural outcome of showing up consistently without giving up, without excuses, and without seeking immediate reward. So today, make the commitment to consistency. Show up for yourself every day, in your actions, in your mindset, in your dedication to your purpose. Do not wait for the perfect moment, for motivation, or for a sign. The perfect moment is created through consistent effort. The life you dream of is built on the foundation of small actions repeated faithfully, and every choice to continue, to push forward, to act even when it's hard, strengthens that foundation. Remember, it is not what you do once that defines you, but what you do consistently that shapes your destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, let's face a simple truth. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the weather. Some days it shines bright, some days it disappears without warning. If we rely on motivation alone, we are at the mercy of circumstances, moods, and external factors. One day you wake up inspired and full of energy. The next day you feel tired, distracted, or doubtful. Success cannot depend on something so unpredictable. This is where discipline comes in. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your achievements. It is the steady hand that guides you forward, even when motivation fades. Discipline is choosing to take action because it is necessary, not because it feels exciting. It is committing to the process, showing up for yourself, and doing what needs to be done, even when your emotions or circumstances do not cooperate. Think about it. The most successful people in every field do not rely on bursts of motivation. They rely on systems, routines, and the daily practice of discipline. They train their minds and bodies to act consistently, to push through resistance, and to focus on long-term results instead of short-term feelings. Motivation might get you started, but discipline keeps you going. It turns vision into action, dreams into habits, and goals into reality. Discipline is not about punishment, it is about freedom. The freedom to create the life you want, the freedom to resist distractions, the freedom to prioritize what truly matters. Every time you practice discipline, you strengthen your ability to control your mind, your habits, and your decisions. You no longer wait for the right mood, the perfect moment, or an external push. You take responsibility for your growth, knowing that action creates momentum, regardless of whether you feel like it or not. Discipline also teaches resilience. Life will test you, tempt you, and challenge you. Motivation may falter in the face of setbacks, but discipline endures. It reminds you that the work is bigger than your emotions, that your purpose is bigger than temporary discomfort, and that consistency in action always compounds into results. The people who achieve extraordinary lives are the ones who do what needs to be done day after day, whether they feel inspired or not. They embrace discipline as a lifestyle, a mindset, and a non-negotiable commitment to themselves. And here is the beauty. Once discipline becomes a habit, it generates its own motivation. You start to trust yourself, your process, and your ability to follow through. You no longer rely on external validation or fleeting inspiration because you know that your actions, repeated faithfully, are what create transformation. Discipline gives you control over your future. It allows you to navigate distractions, overcome resistance, and stay aligned with your goals. It turns ordinary effort into extraordinary results because it removes the dependency on how you feel in the moment. It is the quiet, unglamorous power that fuels success, happiness, and personal growth. So today, make the choice to prioritize discipline over motivation. Build routines, establish habits, and commit to showing up even when it is uncomfortable. Invest in consistency and let discipline guide your actions. Because while motivation may spark the flame, it is discipline that keeps the fire burning, that shapes your character, and that ultimately creates the life you have been striving for. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to understand a truth that too many people ignore. Waiting will never create the life you want. Waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for clarity, waiting for someone else to guide you, or waiting for conditions to be ideal is nothing more than postponing your destiny. The truth is, the perfect moment does not exist. Life will never pause until you feel ready. Opportunities do not wait. The people who achieve greatness do not wait, they act. Action is the bridge between dreams and reality. Without it, your goals remain ideas, your plans remain thoughts, and your potential remains untapped. Every day that passes without deliberate action is a day lost to doubt, fear, and indecision. Many people believe that thinking, planning, or preparing alone is enough. They accumulate knowledge, wait for confidence, or hope for motivation. But knowledge without action is useless. Preparation without execution is wasted effort. And hope without doing is an illusion. Taking action is what transforms your life. It is the moment when intention meets effort, when dreams meet reality, and when vision meets results. It is not always easy. It requires courage to step into the unknown, to risk failure, and to move forward despite uncertainty. But it is only by moving that you create momentum, clarity, and progress. Action generates more than results. It generates confidence. Every step you take, no matter how small, proves to yourself that you are capable, that you are in control, and that your life is not dictated by circumstance. When you take action, you learn, adapt, and grow. Mistakes are no longer threats but lessons. Obstacles are no longer roadblocks but opportunities to strengthen your resilience and sharpen your strategy. The people who wait too long are often the same people who watch others achieve while they remain stuck in hesitation. Time is neutral, but it is fleeting. The days, weeks, and years will pass whether you act or not. Every moment you delay is an opportunity missed, an advantage given to someone else, and a future self left behind. Taking action now is not about reckless haste. It is about deliberate, focused, and courageous movement toward your purpose. It is about making a decision, committing to it, and executing consistently until you see progress. Action creates clarity. The more you do, the more you understand what works, what doesn't, and what truly matters. It dispels fear, sharpens your judgment, and fuels momentum. And momentum, once built, is unstoppable. It propels you forward, turning small wins into big results, challenges into triumphs, and ideas into reality. Remember, nobody will hand you the life you desire. Nobody will give you permission to pursue your dreams. The world does not wait for preparation. It rewards those who act. You are the architect of your destiny, and every action you take is a brick in the foundation of your future. The moment to start is now. The moment to focus is now. The moment to invest in yourself, to take that first step, to pursue that goal, to make that phone call, or to start that project is right here, right now. Procrastination is the enemy of progress, and hesitation is the thief of dreams. Life responds to action. It moves for those who move. It opens doors for those who knock. It transforms for those who push forward. So, make the decision to act today, to step boldly into your purpose, and to create the life you have always imagined. Because the only way to move from where you are to where you want to be is through action. And every moment you wait is a moment you will never get back.